And from
Yeah.
your experience, how often are you seeing clients actually name their children as individual beneficiaries on whether it's a retirement or a stock,
Yeah.
or just naming it the trust? In other words, just
it's less common to have the contingent beneficiaries listed as individual children. I'll give you a couple of reasons why. But it's very common if I have a trust to put the trust as the contingent beneficiary after a parent has passed away, because that's easy. One of the things that becomes a problem when you have contingent beneficiaries that are children is if they get remarried, they get divorced and remarried, they move out of the area, their addresses changes. And so all of those changes with the contingent beneficiaries that might happen with children that are in their 30s and 40s or 20s becomes a little bit of a hard thing to continue to manage, especially if there's many of them. Continually trying to keep the contingent beneficiary information current. And where it's a contingent and you've still got the primary beneficiaries of each other, sometimes it's just easier to say, you know what, if something happens, we know what the wishes are, we know what the will says, we have a copy of everything, we know what's going to happen, and we might even have that designed out in the planning software that shows where the contingent beneficiaries are, and we can make sure those updates are done. So again, I think it's laziness on a part of a financial advisor not making those contingents primary at a point of a piece. But
yeah, and what I tell clients when they do that is that if you have a trust, then you just have to go to one document
yeah,
to make changes,
yeah,
as opposed to having to go to your retirement, your bank accounts, all that. If you've named all of them as individual beneficiaries, then when you do that, you have to make sure that if you want it to go to their kids, that they mark the per stirpes or by representation on each one of those accounts. And if you ever make changes, then you got to go back to all of them. And so
all those things.
A lot of times what I advise is like what you said is just make the trust the beneficiary. And that way, if any changes need to be made, you're just going to one place and it automatically takes care of it without having to go back to all those individual